Welcome to our next top 10 video. It has probably happened to all of us before and feels either really good or really lousy. It's all about the smartest baits. And no, we don't really want to go fishing. In esports you can trap opponents in many different ways. The question is just if they really fall for it. But with a clever bait you can catch the really big fish. Have fun with our top 10 smartest baits in esports. Top 10. Rocket League. When we them girls were leading in their series against Chiefs, Norris in particular was the game changer of the match. In the second game, Ignite couldn't get a good shot off, but instead put the ball back in front of the goal to Metzi. And what he did then was crazy. Instead of shooting the ball into the goal, Metzi pulls the brakes and baits his first opponent, then another one who takes the bait and tries to save the ball. At the same time, he has created the perfect setup for Norris, who can easily shoot the ball into the goal.
Fantastic play from Norris. We them girls in the lead.
Top 9. Fnatic Deathbush Bait. It's actually so simple and yet can be so effective, even though you would actually think to yourself that no one could be that stupid. Yes, we're talking about a bush trap in League of Legends. In the early League years, Fnatic was particularly known for this strategy. Plays like this taught us early on to never under any circumstances face check bushes. So the next time you want to run blindly into the bush, just remember such plays and put a ward in first. You can only allow yourself to do it if you're tanky and can dash out as well in the best case. And if you ever want to try such trap yourself, just take a pink ward and a sweeper with you. Top 8. Burst Bait Smash. You know it from anime, fights that drag on forever and where the attack has to be charged up for half an hour. Many anime fighters like in Guilty Gear or Dragon Ball Z have a burst mechanic that lets you cancel a combo or push your opponent away while blocking their attacks. Such burst attacks are extremely powerful, but also super expensive, and it rarely comes to more than one per round. The crazy thing? Even this counter can in turn be countered. A burst bait, so to speak. If your opponent falls for it and starts a burst, but you avoid being hit by it and initiate the counter, then the tide can change so quickly it suddenly you set the tone. Debated is all I can say.
I always see that button on mistake. What an anti-air.
Top 7. Fake Start Baron. Nowadays in League of Legends, it's not uncommon to fake start Baron, also to provoke a fight so you can nash her afterwards. Who knows who invented this strategy first, but in most cases it works. This was the case in Fnatic's game against Rocket. They put themselves in the shadow of Baron pits, except for their bait Syndra. With a couple of fake attacks, the trap snapped shut, and before their opponents realized that the Baron hadn't even been started yet, it was already too late. They only got one kill, but were able to avert a team fight and save the Nash. And once again, a few words would have helped because vision is key. Top 6. Roshan Bait. We start with a really smart bait in Dota 2, and this one has it all. No one has thought of such a bait until this point, let alone succeeded. After losing the first match, Team NTH needed a good strategy. At the beginning of the game, someone got killed by Roshan. As a result, their opponents from EG suddenly got scared and wanted to check if they were really in the process of killing Roshan. Well, that was the most blatant bait in Dota 2 history, because EG had taken the bait and NTH wiped them out. What a lovely bait. Top 5. Faking bomb site. In games like Rainbow Six Siege, it's all about the bomb site. Controlling it can make the difference between victory and defeat. It can definitely turn into some baits, like by throwing a smoke to lure your opponents on a false trail. Team Sinister managed to do that when they played the Pittsburgh Knights. They lured the Knights to the wrong side, and ironically the Knights even wondered if it was a bait. Unfortunately, they fell for it and stormed the area way too early. That cost them their lives. Especially in esports, you shouldn't just brain AFK storm forward.
There was nearly a second in it for Luna. But exactly what you said, Raven.
Top 4. 2019 Techie Bait. With this play, one should have been just a bit more attentive and this bait wouldn't have worked out. OG Jarix was able to stack Techie's mines unnoticed, standing by in the top lane. In the teamfight that started shortly after, OG's team had lost a lot of life and retreated. Of course, this was all part of the sinister plan that Vicky Gaming simply didn't expect. They went for a double kill, but that wasn't enough for them and the chase was on. Cleverly, OG kited their opponent into the vicinity of Techie, who then exploded and sent all of Vicky's players to their graves. Unfortunately, not without getting killed himself in the process. Top 3. Fake flashbang. There's hardly anything more satisfying in esports than successfully baiting enemies. In CSGO, you can do that with a fake flashbang, but most enemies realize too late that no grenade is coming after all and simply turn away. By the way, this works by dropping a weapon and looking straight up. Your opponents are just completely confused, lost, and don't know what will happen in the next moment. Genius Simple has done it again. This is a real 5-head move.
It was pretty cool indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Simple and Navi.
Top 2. LEC JNX bait. Let's move on to a bait that you can't be sure was one. Even the casters were wondering what JNX was doing in this LEC play. Calculated is what SK fans are probably saying now, but this bait couldn't have been any tighter. SK was clearly in the lead, but in League of Legends it happens that the momentum can tip to the other side when you lose a late game teamfight. After SK was able to catch one of their opponents, the siege was over. But the opposing LeBlanc hadn't had enough and wanted to use her W on JNX very quickly. She almost killed him with it too, but then the rest of SK came back and made sure that BDS didn't come back. This teaches us once again why in League of Legends you can kill someone quickly after all, but die pretty fast yourself when you try.
Oh my god, what the hell was that? So let's look at that again. So Syncroft dies, Jesu just takes him out after Certus gets a little bit of...
Top 1. Faker is the best bait. The perfect bait doesn't exist, you think? Faker proves the opposite. He is the unkillable Demon King, first of his name, and wouldn't be a legend if he didn't show us that he himself is the perfect bait. What haven't his opponents gone through to bring him down? And how many times have they ended up in the grave with the chase itself? Countless times, of course, as they did in this match against G2. Actually, Jankos was way too deep in T1's jungle and was already backing off, but then the situation escalated quickly. Faker engages Tristan on G2's AD carry because he was seemingly out of position. However, with his jump, he had suddenly moved a good distance away from his team, and it looked like he himself was now out of position. G2 immediately pounced on Faker and simply ignored the rest of the opposing team. A big mistake as it turned out. Faker survived with ease, and G2's jungler and AD carry had to learn the hard way that you shouldn't be chasing the unkillable Demon King.
G2, look at how aggressive they are in the bot lane once again, where there's the storm. Gumayushi and Carrier just buy time, and then look at this play from Faker. The combo was beautiful, the flash from the hook
That was our top 10 video of the week. Have you been victim to a similar bait in the past? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. See you next week.